one of the problems is that it was cookie cutter environmental impact statements produced by the oil companies pursuant to the categorical exclusions that the Department of Interior routinely granted during the Bush administration that led to absurdities such as plans requiring the evacuation of walruses from the Gulf of Mexico in the event of an accident, even though walruses hadn't lived there for 2 million years. So, we just got to be realistic here about what kind of job the oil companies were doing. They were absolutely irresponsible, and their irresponsibility is something that goes to their safety record. Secretary Angelle, on page 225 of the Independent Commission report, said that from 2004 to 2009, fatalities in the offshore oil and gas industry were more than 4 times higher per person hours worked in the United States waters than in European waters, even though they were the same companies. So given that it is 4 times more deadly to work offshore in U.S. waters, and that the Commission found that the safety problems were systemic, and that not a single new safety measure has been enacted into law since the BP disaster, don't you think that we need to ensure that these rigs are operating safely in order to protect the lives of workers on these rigs and the livelihoods of all Gulf residents, so that we increase the level of safety up to international standards rather than having the lowest in the industrialized world? Don't you think the safety recommendations of the BP Commission should be implemented?
I'm not familiar with all those safety recommendations, Mr. Ranking Member. I would say
you haven't analyzed the safety recommendations yet?
I have not, sir. I would say that
could you I think, given your job, don't you think you should have looked at those safety recommendations?
Actually, I have not analyzed all of those recommendations, sir.
Could you analyze them and give a set of responses to the safety recommendations back to the committee?
Sir, I have not analyzed all of those recommendations. I would tell you that in my comments, I indicated that it should not be business as usual, and we support it not being business as usual. Certainly understand that and get that.
Does that include implementing the safety recommendations of the BP Commission?
I am not aware of all the safety recommendations of the BP Commission.
Are you aware of any of the safety recommendations of the BP Commission?
I'm aware of some of the safety recommendations, yes, sir.
Are there any of those safety recommendations that you recommend be implemented?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what those are?
I would just simply say that generally, I believe that repetitive safety measures of dual blowout preventers and those kind of things are very, very important. I certainly understand containment issues being very, very important. But I would say again that having the new regulations that have been promulgated, we are now at a point where the government, the industry has demonstrated to the government the ability.
Even though you're not familiar with the safety recommendations of the BP Commission, you're ready to say that it's safe and people should go out there. Is that what you're?
No, that's not what I said, sir. I said that it is my understanding that the Bureau of Ocean Energy has promulgated new rules and regulations, and the industry has demonstrated the ability to comply with those, and now is the time to begin issuing permits, inasmuch as industry has begun to comply with those recommendations.
And they issued those recommendations last month, so we're ready to go. Are you satisfied with the recommendations that were promulgated by the Department of Interior?
It is not for me to be satisfied. It is for me, as I said earlier, sir, I come here not seeking blame, but to bring about a solution. It is the industry has demonstrated the ability to comply with those regulations, and we need a sense of urgency issuing permits.
Okay, well,
I'm not looking backwards. I'm looking forward.
I am too.